Folks, I promise you, this is going to be the best, most profound video that you're going to watch or even listen to today if you're on my podcast, because I'm going to teach you, okay? I'm going to teach you. Keyword is teach you how I manifested $1 million in 45 days using neuroscience, okay? And I'm going to break this down in layman's terms. So I'm not going to use any Joe Dispenza terms or Andrew Huberman terms. I'm going to keep it just stupid simple, because if I can do that, and if you get it, you're going to apply it and you'll have similar results. Hey, my name is Wesley Virgin. Welcome to the Sunday Mindset Message here. You're probably looking at a dark screen if you're live with me. Remember, listen, I go live every single night. Subscribe. It's free, okay? This is for my all access pass. This is for all of you to get an opportunity to speak with me. Everybody has an all access pass. You can go live with me. Okay. Just let me know in the comments below here. But, Sunday, I use my Sundays to educate you about what you're doing wrong and to help you do what's right, so you can have an amazing year, because 2026 is happening. And I know you feel excited. Some of you feel anxious. But let me tell you something. I want you to comment these words below 7 times. Something amazing is about to happen. Okay. Now you might not understand that, because you may be thinking, well, what? But all I want you to do is type it. Because what I'm getting ready to explain to you and teach you is the exact method. This is what I teach in overnightmillionaireuniversity.com. Right now, I'm so blessed to say that we are the fastest growing manifestation community on the internet right now. In 2026, we will have over 1 million plus students. Okay. 1 million members. That's insane, right? We're on track right now. People are leaving universities. People are dropping out of colleges because they want to understand how to play the game of life. And I'm not saying that I'm some god or some guru or some guy that you used to listen to, but I tell you this, from experience, I'm self-made. I grew up in the ghetto. I'm from the south side of Houston, Texas. My parents, they did okay. They made $20,000 a year. I never had the nice shoes, the nice clothes. I've had repossessions. I slept in my car. I mean, I've been through the BS in life. But I discovered something about my brain through neuroscience, and I want to teach it to you, that allowed me to create a magical life for me, my children, and my parents, my family, and everybody around me. Okay? And now I want to share that with you. Okay? I'm not a gatekeeper. I want to share the knowledge with all of you so you can write this down, absorb it, and use it for your life, for your family. Okay? Life is not just about money. It's about transformation. Once you transform, listen, the money, the abundance, and the prosperity comes automatically. Okay? So let me know in the comments if you're ready. Say, Wesley, I'm ready, which means that you're going to find yourself a quiet place. Please turn off your ringer, turn off your notifications, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. You don't want to miss anything, because I promise you, what you're going to hear right now, it's going to give you the breakthrough that you've been waiting for, okay? Because 2026 is going to be amazing. Something amazing is about to happen to you. It's something amazing going to happen to your family because of this information that Mr. Virgin is going to share with you, okay? Now, when you hear the word neuroscience, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Comment below. Because I made a promise to you in the beginning of the podcast that I'm just going to keep it stupid simple, okay? 5th grade level, if you don't mind. I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to go real deep this morning. But every word that comes out of my mouth, you will fully understand exactly how it works and how you can apply it. So neuroscience, what is neuroscience, folks? Does anybody know? Somebody said the brain. Okay. Someone said quantum physics. So can I give you a stupid, simple definition? The brain is nothing. The brain is the study of how the brain thinks. You might want to write this down. Neuroscience is how the brain thinks, how the brain remembers, how your brain reacts to stress, how your brain creates habits, and how your brain controls emotions, and how your brain changes itself. Part of what we call neuroplasticity, okay? Like your brain is malleable, your brain is like plastic, and you can reform and reshape it at any given time, Okay. As a matter of fact, anytime you're learning new information, you're going through the experience of neuroplasticity. Okay. So neuroscience is the manual that explains how all the buttons and wires and switches work in your brain. Okay. And I'm going to demonstrate on how I did it. And I'm going to allow you to ask questions after. I'm going to show you exactly what I did to make $1 million. And let me tell you something. It wasn't because I worked more. It wasn't because I went to Harvard University. As a matter of fact, I dropped out of college. It's not because I stayed on the right side of town, because I stayed in the ghetto. Even after I left my parents' house, I moved to the ghetto again, right? Because I couldn't afford it. So, and let me tell you how it just life just switched in my 30s that allowed me to, well, obviously I'm worth a couple $1 million today. I've bought every dream car that I've ever wanted, even though you don't care about that. But I've traveled the world with my children, which has been a blessing. I've allowed my parents to travel the world. My parents have been to their dream locations. My dad's dream location was Jerusalem because he's a pastor. And my mother's dream location was Paris because she's a shopper, just like me, right? She loves to shop. And it's been a blessing. I've been able to donate money and charitable. I'm able to be a philanthropist now. But now I'm a philanthropist with my knowledge. And I want to give it to you. Okay? So let's go back a little bit. So let's talk about, well, Wesley, how did I manifest $1 million? And if you don't mind, can I give you the steps? Okay. I have so many stories that I can tell and what led up to, but how about I just kind of give you the steps? Comment below steps is that you want. If you want a story, I'll do a story, but I just think people just need to step through this, and this, and you would get this result. And if you do it exactly how I share with you, listen, great things will happen. Because I'm going to assume that you are coachable and you're teachable, okay? So you want the steps? Comment the word steps. Because we don't want to waste time with long, boring stories and tell you how I grew up on this side of blah, blah, whatever. Let me just give you the steps. Let me tell you what I did. At the time, I was 32, I believe, years old. And I don't know, maybe 32 or 33. And I had just quit my job. I quit a job that I was making $200,000 a year. I was a computer engineer in my previous life, believe it or not. I had just got kicked out of the Army in my 20s, so I was down bad. And I wanted to make money, okay? I wanted to make money. Then I started reading books, and I started to understand this word called manifestation. First time I watched The Secret was in my 30s. I saw the movie Law of Attraction, Thoughts Are Things. You know, you get what you think about. I watched that movie maybe 100 times. True story. And then I read more books by Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habits of Being Yourself, Think and Grow Rich. I was reading all the self-help books. True story. I read not every self-help book, but I read a lot, maybe 700. But then I started to play around with neuroscience. Okay? I started to play around with neuroscience here. And I began to go down the rabbit hole of neuroscience because I said, well, what is neuroscience? Is that a neurosurgeon, or we're talking about surgery on the brain? And with neuroscience, like I just explained to you, it's just how the brain thinks. Why do we do certain things? Why do we react to certain situations this way and other ways we don't? Why are we fearful in these situations? In this situation, we're confident. You know, why do I get depressed for no reason? Why am I happy? What does it take for me to be happy? Does money equal happiness for me? So it was a lot of questions. And neuroscience was a game changer. Okay? So listen, first step, write it down. First step. And this is important. It's simplistic, but it's very important. The first step for me to manifest $1 million, you have to truly believe that you can make $1 million. Now, I know that sounds too simplistic, but I think you folks don't realize how important belief is as it relates to getting what you want. Okay? Like, you have to truly believe. Now, let me tell you why it's hard to believe, and what was hard to believe for me, because I grew up pretty average, pretty poor. Like $1 million. No one, I didn't know anyone that even had $20,000. I never seen my parents' paycheck. My first job, I was making $6 an hour, and I thought I was balling out of control, right? So to think about $1 million, I didn't have any references in my mind. Does it make sense? Like, I didn't have anything to compare. That, I make $1 million. Like, I didn't have a granddad that was rich. I didn't have anybody, a mentor, no one. So when I share with you, you have to believe it. So this is what I want you to do. I want today to be very interactive, if you don't mind. I want you to type, I believe that I can manifest $1 million. Now listen, all I want you to do is type it. There's a part of you that's going to say bullshit. There's a part of you that's going to say absolutely. Wow, how are you going to do it? How? I get it. But all I want you to do is just do it anyway. Is that okay? Type below, say, I believe that I can manifest $1 million. See, listen, we don't realize, some of you are Christians and you believe in God, but yet I don't think you read the Bible, because even in the Bible, and I'll paraphrase, that the tongue, right? The power of words, the power of the tongue can either destroy or create you. It's in the Bible, okay? That whatever you speak, whatever you say out your mouth, it is. As a man thinketh, so is he. In the Bible, in the beginning, it says God created man and the earth through words. Okay? So you have to really think about that. So if God, like if you believe in God, you believe in the Bible, you believe in Jesus, if you're a Christian, then if God said, well, let there be this, he uses his word and it was. So why can't we do the same thing as people? We can. Okay? So we're going to start right now. Just type, I believe that I can manifest $1 million. Because that's what I did. That was the first step. I said, I believe I can manifest $1 million. Okay? And I get it. It may be comical right now. Some of you like, oh man, this is bullshit. What is right now? See, what I want you to understand right now, you're fighting with the two selves. You have the old self. The old self is who I'm talking to right now. As you're typing, I believe I'm going to manifest $1 million. There's a part of you that says, bullshit, how? You can't just write something and it just works out. What are you talking about? This is woo-woo. What I want you to understand, that's your old self. Okay? But the new self, the new part of you, is going to believe that you will manifest $1 million. And believe that you're going to manifest peace and happiness in your life right now. Okay? So I want you to be very conscious that there will be a battle. But how you win the battle is you just listen to Wesley Virgin and just do what I say. So type it again, say, I believe that I can manifest $1 million. So that's what I did. That was my first step, just to believe that I can do it. Right? You can't tell yourself, well, I don't know if I can do that. Well, that's not realistic. Well, I don't know anybody that's doing that, so I don't think that's going to be possible. Well, that dream is too big. That's outside of my thinking, right? That's the old you. And there used to be the old Wesley. Okay? But neuroscience doesn't care about that. Okay? As it relates to neuroscience, like whatever you say, the brain just believes. Whatever you say over and over again, the brain will create a hard, concrete memory. Okay? So that's why I ask you guys sometimes on these rants to type it again. Because the more that you say it and the more that you type it, it gives your mind a better chance to believe it. Okay? Step 2. So we believe that we're going to make $1 million. Okay, great. Step 2, this is what I did. Now, this is when I got into what is called scripting or meditational scripting. Right now, in my university that is online, overnightmillionaireuniversity.com, all my new members and students, the first thing they must do is delete negative thoughts from their brain, period. And I think we understand why. It's like, let me give you an example here. Like if I had a glass of dirty water, okay, and if I had another glass of clean water, and if I wanted clean water from the dirty water, and I began to pour in the clean water inside of the dirty water, what happens? Well, just more dirty water, which means it doesn't matter how much clean water I'm pouring in the dirty cup with the dirty water, it's still dirty. So listen, it doesn't matter. Like you can listen to this video, you can listen to this podcast, you can listen to Oprah Winfrey, you can read more books, you can go to more seminars, you can hang out with Joe Dispenza, Tony Robbins, you can read your favorite book. It doesn't matter. Okay. You can have your vision boards. You can say your journaling. You can say your affirmations. You can do chakras and chakras and whatever. What I want you to understand is until you clean the glass, like your brain will always be filled with dirty thoughts. Okay? You with me? So it doesn't matter if you keep pouring in new stuff, new opportunities, new self-help stuff, it's still dirty, which means you have to delete. Write that down, please. The first thing my students do in overnightmillionaireuniversity.com is delete the negative and the limiting blocks first, the trauma. We have to delete some of those insecurities. We have to delete some of those limiting beliefs as it relates to money. We have to delete the limiting beliefs as it relates to your self-image, on what you really think about yourself. Okay? We have to delete anything related to unworthiness. You may say, I'm not worthy enough. I don't know if I'm good enough. We have to delete stuff because you may say, I'm too old. Old dog can't learn new tricks. Do you understand? Some of you need I have a maid, right? And she cleans my house, and I have 10 homes around the world that I rent out to people. And anytime we rent a new person, we have to do what is called a deep cleaning. Okay, a deep cleaning is a bit more expensive. And the reason why we want to do a deep cleaning, because the tenant before has been there for 5 years. So some of you need a deep cleaning because some of you are 40 and 50 and 60 years old. You're a little bit older. So you need a deep cleaning. Does that make sense? It's not enough for us just to clean for 90 or 60 minutes. You need a 3 or 4 hour cleaning. Can I get an amen to that? Like you need a deep cleaning. Comment below, say, Wes, I need a deep cleaning. Right? We need to get everything out of there because there's so much junk. So many experiences, so many breakups, so many divorces and hurts and pains and betrayals and trauma and childhood trauma and just anger and disappointment and depression and pills and drugs and alcohol and experiences that you regret. It's in your mind. We got to deep clean that crap. Okay? Comment below. Say, yes, I need a deep cleaning. Some of you don't. Some of you in your 20s and 30s, you're okay with a 60-minute cleaning. But some of you need a 4 hour. Some of you need a day of deep cleaning that brain of yours. Okay? So that's what I began to do. So I was using a script. It's the same script that I offer online. And I began to play the script. Okay? And I call it a script, but in actuality, it's a meditational script. Because what it does is this. It's very simple. What it does is it puts your brain into theta state. It puts your brain in a state that negative beliefs can be removed from your mind. Let me break this down very, very stupid. I'm going to break it down I'm going to break it down. Listen, your brain has 4 states. You have alpha state, beta state, delta state, and delta state. Okay? 4. Alpha, it's like when you wake up in the morning, you know? Alpha can be creativity as well. So it's like when you get really creative and you're like, oh, I'm going to do this. Like that's alpha. Okay? Alpha is just almost when you have like no thought. It's just like waking up or getting ready to go to sleep. Just waking up in the morning. Your brain is in alpha. Whenever you're like very creative, that's alpha. Beta is where you are now. Beta is basically when people are stressed out. They're overthinking and thinking about, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Oh, I forgot about this, this, I gotta do this, I gotta go. It's like your mind is running 100 miles per hour. And unfortunately, most of us stay in high beta state. And beta state does cause disease. And maybe I'll talk about that later, but it does. It's the initiator of most diseases that we attract in our lives, the beta state, okay? And then you have what is called theta. Theta is very similar to watching a movie or watching TV, even watching TikTok. Yeah, your brain is in theta. Or even listening to a lovely black man by the name of Wesley Virgin on this phone. Theta state. Okay, it's when your mind is totally immersed, your beliefs are suspended. And when you're in theta, everything that you hear, it goes inside the unconscious mind. It's the reason why you can watch a movie that's scary, and even though the movie is fake, it's not real, it's just actors, you tend to feel the emotion of fear, right? You're like, oh my God, what happened? Oh my God, I can't look. But it's not real. But in theta state, your beliefs are suspended. So that's what we're trying to do. And when people join my program, that's the first thing I got to do. I got to suspend your beliefs. Okay? Suspending your beliefs means that all your beliefs about what you think about yourself, and that we're going to put that to the side for a second. Okay? Joe Dispenza says it best. He says, you have to become no one and no thing. So during the meditational script, you have to become no one and no thing, which means you're not a father, you're not a mother, you're not a son, you're not a daughter, you're not a worker, you're not a cashier, you're not an accountant, you're not an entrepreneur, you're nothing. Okay? It's a total disconnection from the ego. Does that make sense, folks? Are you with me? Give me a thumbs up if you're with me. If I'm moving too fast, say, Wes, whoa, slow down, Wes. I'm not getting this. Comment below. Let me know that everybody is still tracking, okay? Comment below, please. Let me know if you're still tracking. Give me a thumbs up. Say, keep going, Wes. This is good. Okay? Okay, good. All right, great. So, the last state of mine is delta. Delta is just sleep. It's just when you're like snoring and, you're like deep sleep, delta, whatever. Okay, so, but we want to focus on theta. And let me tell you something. If you want to reprogram your mind, you want to manifest millions, peace, abundance, whatever you want to manifest, your brain needs to be in the theta state. Okay, got to be in theta. So what I did, this is years ago. I had a 700 square foot apartment. At the time, I had just quit my job, like I told you folks. And this is when I began to listen to the meditational script for myself. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you what I did. Unfortunately for you, I've upgraded the script so it doesn't take long. Listen, every morning, I would meditate for 45 minutes. Every afternoon, I would meditate for 45 minutes. Every evening, I would meditate for 45 minutes. Just being honest with you. So that's almost 3 hours of meditation every single day. And I didn't miss a moment. Okay? I'm just giving you the steps. You want to know how I did it? Because I truly believe that the more you become immersed of reprogramming or retraining the brain, it will happen fast. But unfortunately, most people think they can't do it because they say, well, I got kids, I got a husband. Well, no, I can't be in a quiet place and I got too much to do. I guess, but I don't know. I think we all could do it if we make a decision to do it. Okay? Now, let me tell you what I was doing during the meditation. Now, write that down. I did it at 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and I think like 7 o'clock every day for 45 days. Every day. 45 minutes of meditation, closing my eyes, focusing on my breathing, and of course I was listening to the meditational script at the time. Okay, it was guided. And I did that 3 times a day, folks. Now, you may say, well, Wesley, what was happening when you were meditating? Okay. And let me tell you, and this is important. Listen, this is the secret sauce. This is how I know for sure that I'm going to do $1 million every day, like starting in December. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I just know it, like $1 million. Like, some of you can't even imagine $1 million in a lifetime. I'm talking about $1 million a day, but it's okay. Let me tell you how to do it. Because you may be thinking, well, how do I get this belief in my brain? Because it's like, I say I believe it, but I know I don't believe it because of my actions. Like, if you believe that you're going to be a millionaire, then you probably just quit your job. Like, if you believe that, then what's the purpose of working for other people? I mean, just go out there and start a business and start selling and making money. I don't know. If you believe you can lose weight, then why not just go to the gym every day and just stop procrastinating and stop saying that, oh, man, I'm not losing any pounds. Okay, so let me help you out. And this is important. This is very important. Okay? When you're meditating, and this is the same thing that we do in my university. It's so many levels in my university, and we do this. I'm getting excited right now because so many people, I have over 3,000 testimonials of older people, younger people that's streaming on camera. They like loving this. Listen, I'm going to break this down stupid simple. You have to remove, you know what a tape is? Does anybody know what a cassette tape is? I know some of you younger folks don't know what a cassette tape is. But back in my day, I can't believe I'm saying this, oh my God. Back in my day, we had something that's called a cassette tape. So if you want to play some music, you got to put a tape in. Back in my day, we had something that's called a record player. You know what a record is? You put the record on and you listen to music. It wasn't digital during my time. We didn't have YouTube videos, believe it or not, we didn't have that. Not when I was growing up, not when I was younger, okay? And so let me tell you what you got to do. So if you're playing a song, and I want someone to comment the answer below. If you're playing a song, you have a tape, you put the tape in, you playing a song. If you want to play a new song, what do you do? What do you do if you want a new song? Can anybody comment the answer below? You change the tape. That's it. Change the tape. Okay. So right now you're playing a song in your mind. You're playing a story. You're playing a belief structure. You're playing these belief tracks in your mind right now. Whatever that is, it is playing over and over and over again, called your life. Okay. You know how your car look. You know how your kids look. You know how they behave. You know how your husband treats you, how your wife treats you. You know how your employees, your boss treats you. You know their faces. You know exactly where it takes to go to your job when you drive there in the morning. You know what you got to do for school. I mean, it's a tape that runs. Your emotions, it just runs the same program every day, all day. You're going to react to the same thing over and over again. If somebody call you out your name, maybe you get mad. If someone tells you no, maybe you'll feel rejected. Whatever. It's a tape. Okay. So, when you start to play the meditational script that I'm talking about, you're basically removing the tape and you're going to put a new tape in. And how do you do that? What we're going to do is when you're meditating 3 times a day, you're going to create a new song. I know you think, well, Wesley, I'm not a songwriter, though. I'm not a producer, Wesley. I don't produce. I work at Walmart. I work at Target. I'm an entrepreneur. What? I got to produce it? Yeah. Okay. Because unfortunately, you've allowed somebody else to produce the tape or the song that is currently playing in your brain, the belief. Somebody else did it. Your mama, your daddy, pastor, your brother, friends. They produced your movie. So since they produced it, That's what you planned. You wasn't a part of the process because you wasn't aware that you can be the producer. Comment below. Say, I am the producer of my life. See, you never thought about you being a producer because you said, well, I mean, I don't make movies. I don't create movies. I don't produce movies. I just watch them. So you never thought that you could actually not just be a part of the process, you can be the director of the process. But you've allowed the world to produce the piss poor movie that's in your brain called your life. You get it? Okay. So I'm telling you, you're the producer, man. I mean, I know, I get it. You know, you didn't know. You got a raise. You got a promotion. Hey, listen to me. You can be the producer. You don't have to keep playing the same bullshit movie you've been listening to for the last 10, 20, and 30 years. Can I get an amen? Like, we don't have to. Don't you sick and tired of the same movie? Like, think about a person that watches a movie over and over again. Eventually, he's like, oh my God, I don't want to see this movie anymore. I've already seen this. Give me something else. When you watching Netflix, Hulu, Tubi, whatever, you be like, I already seen this movie. What else you got? Right? Of course. So why are you playing the same movie over and over again in your mind? That's changing. So that's what you do. Type these words below. Clarity is power, which means is you have to be extremely clear on what the movie is and what the movie is going to be about. Okay? Clarity is power. Are you loving me yet? You're liking this, right? I know you are. Because, listen, if I'm going to be the producer of my movie, shout out to all my new members of overnightmillionaireuniversity.com. I love you. If you're going to be the producer of your movie, well, I need to know what are we going to do, where are we going to go, where are we going to drive. You know, the kids, like, what school are they going to be in? And, you know, you understand, you have to create the entire movie, like the characters and the people that you want in your life, and what would you like to do on a daily basis? I get it. You work every day. I mean, do you want to work every day? I mean, if you don't want to, well, let's create something different. Let's create a way. Let's create the movie that, you know, maybe you created a business that just pays you every single month because of the value that you brought to the company or to the marketplace. So what I did personally, okay, I would visualize the new movie and the new song that I wanted to play in my mind. Okay? Me personally at that time, you know, I wanted $5,000 a day. I wanted to be able to travel first class around the world, so I would just see it. I would see myself getting up out of my bed whenever I wanted to. I saw myself leaving my room, looking at my view. You know, I pictured myself in a penthouse. I just saw myself in a penthouse. I saw the chef preparing my food. I saw myself going down the elevator, choosing the car for the day, driving to the gym. Not a worry in the world. Like in my movie, money comes in automatically. I never have to worry about money because it just comes in like water flows. And that's what I was doing in my picture. Okay? I was traveling first class to Paris, to Australia, to China, to Japan by myself. Because at the time, I was a lonely man. I didn't have no girlfriend. It was just myself. So I just saw myself traveling with my children to Hawaii, traveling with my children to Tokyo, to Disney World, taking them to Malaysia. That's what I saw, because that's what I wanted. Because it wasn't just about me, it was about my children. It was just me and my children, honestly, at the time, and that was it. That's all I cared about, of course, my parents, but, my children, they're my immediate family. They're the closest to me. So I was doing it for me and for them. So every time I would meditate, listen, every time I was running the meditational script, this is what I was doing. Okay? I was just daydreaming. That's a better word, daydreaming. But my eyes were closed. I would take 5 deep breaths. And I would just begin to daydream and visualize as if I was living the life that I wanted to live. I saw myself walking to the Lamborghini dealership, writing the check. I saw myself taking my parents to buy them brand new cars. I saw myself driving up to my parents' house, writing them the biggest check of their lives, seeing their reaction, seeing the tears from my mother's eyes. Yeah. That's what I saw. That's what I was creating. Are you with me? Yeah. What made this so possible, because I kept doing it over and over and over and over and over and over again. I got obsessed. I got to the point that's all I was thinking about. Like when I would go to the gym, I was just thinking about me and my children, my babies, going to going to China or going to Japan. I would see us on the Emirates flights, and I would see us playing games on the Emirates flights together. Like on the Emirates flight, when you fly business or first class, you can play, not only can you play games, you can play games with each other. So that's what we're doing. Playing games with each other. Like, it was in my mind, like, all day. Now, listen, at this time, no money in the bank account. Business is not working, right? Well, not making money, right? I still had bills coming in. Still had the pink slips coming in. Like, what I want you to understand is my actual reality. It didn't change. What was changing was the neuroscience, was the brain, my mind. Write this down. Write this down. Your mind doesn't know the difference between an experience that is outside of you versus an experience that is happening in your mind. Like, it can't tell the difference from what's imagined and what is actually real. It doesn't know. So when I was playing the new tape, like I was creating the new tape, like I didn't buy the tape for anybody. I was creating my own movie. When I created that movie, that's all I was thinking about. So if I was thinking about it, then the more you think about something, then you begin to emotionalize it. Now let's back up for a second, because this is what I need you to do as well, and this is important. When you begin to daydream or visualize, when you go through the meditational script process, the first thing that I want you to do is write it down. Because I know you think that, I know what I want. Listen to me. You don't know. You just think you know. You don't know what you truly want. Okay? If you want to know what you truly want, then you need to write it down. The movies that you watch on TV, they have something that's called the writer. Okay? The writer is different from the producer. Okay? But until the writer writes the movie, you can't go get actors. Okay? You can't go hire actors and actresses because there's no right. Like, you can't go and hire all these people and the producer say, okay, hey, this is your line, this is your line, this is your line. Everybody's going to forget. He's going to say, hey, where's the script? Every actor gets a script first because they need to read it, because they need to understand what the movie is about. That's why you got to write it. You can't just use your brain. Be like, I'm just going to remember. I'm just going to close my eyes and I'm making $1 billion every minute. No, that's not going to work. You're going to fail. Are you with me? Does that make sense? You're going to fail that way. what you do is listen. Okay. And I still have the blue journal that I would write in every day when I was driving a 1988 Honda Accord. I'm in my 30s. I'm broke. So what? And I would go to this neighborhood here in Houston, Texas called Royal Oaks. And I would drive back there and I would spend hours writing every single day. Okay? Every day. And every day, I would write the script of the movie that is playing right now. So every day, what you do is you write exactly what you want. That's what you write. You say, what do you want? You write the characters. What are they saying? What do you smell? What do you taste? Right? Where do you want to travel? What do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do with your life? And you got to be detailed. Comment these words again. Clarity is power. Without clarity, you will not manifest the life that you deserve to have. Okay? You got to be clear. Comment the word clear. You got to be detailed. Hello? A lot of you, this is your big, when I'm training people, this is the biggest problem. They're not clear. They're like, well, I want to be rich. Well, I just want peace. Oh, I just want to be in love. Oh, I just want my soulmate. That's not clear. Oh, I just want more money. Well, I don't want to have to struggle anymore. Well, I just want financial freedom. That's not clear. Clarity is power. You got to be clear. We can't just say, I want a brand new car. What kind of car? What's the color? What's the model? You want a new car or an old car? Women, you can't just say, I want a husband. What kind of husband? Tall, short. What about his personality? What do you want him to look like? How you want him to act? What type of family structure do you like him to have? Clarity is power. Why? Because of neuroscience. Neuroscience says that the brain is unable to understand anything that is vague. It doesn't know what you mean when you say, I want to be successful. It doesn't know what you mean when you want to be healthy. I want to be healthy. The brain doesn't know what to do with that because the word is very vague. Some people believe they're healthy and they eat burgers every day, but they're skinny. Some people think they're healthy because they eat broccoli every day. Some people think they're healthy because they only eat on juice diets every day. So you have to create some detail for the thing that you want. Just like a movie. If I start watching a movie and I know exactly what's going to happen, if it starts up, say, hey, this is Johnny. Johnny wants to be in love. Then Johnny meets Sarah. Oh, then they have the wedding the next day and they have kids. The end, it's done. Like, what? That's boring. The movie that does well is because it's detail, excitement. So when you're writing this down, you're going to do this tonight, by the way. I want everybody to do this tonight because I'm getting ready to leave live now. I'm almost done. I want you to write down and I want you to be very detailed on what you want. Okay? Now, if you're already in Overnight Millionaire University in the discussion area, you can go ahead and do this now. Be detailed. I'm the only person where your other members, we said too. We're family here. And what I do is in the discussion area in Overnight Millionaire University, I'm going to read it. And if I need to fix it, I'm going to fix it for you. Is that cool? Sometime I have to fix hundreds per day, but it's okay. I'm committed to you. Because I understand if you don't get this right, nothing will work. Okay, according to what you want. So can I get all of you to do that for me today? So let me get to the ending. So basically, I meditated 3 times a day, 45 minutes every single day. Okay, meditation script over and over and over and over again. And I built the movie in my mind that I believed that I was the movie. I believed that I was the character. One thing about actors and actresses like Denzel Washington. Shout out to Denzel, arguably the greatest actor on the planet. This man can play any role that he wants, right? He knows how to step into the role of a gangster, the role of a father, the role of a ninja, or whatever. You know, this man can do anything. It's because he knows how to embody the person that he needs to be doing the movie. And that's what you're going to do. And you do it by meditating over and over and over and over again until you become the person that you wanted to be. And when I did that, I made $1 million in 1 month from a business that I had no sight on. Like I had no thoughts about this type of business. I had no thoughts about the product. It just came to me. And in 45 days, I saw $1 million in the bank account. And you know the crazy thing about this? Like I didn't work harder. I didn't sacrifice more. I didn't suffer. I didn't read more books. All I did was do exactly what I shared with you right now. Any questions for me? That's it. If you are an Overnight Millionaire member, congrats to you. Thank you for taking a leap of faith with me. I promise you, this is going to be the best 90 days, if not year of your life. Because my expectation is that you're going to stay with me for a while. You know, one thing I've learned is you need to connect with people who have not just like minds, but people who are living the godly life of abundance that you would like to live as well. Stay connected to them. Deep cleansing meditations. You know what? I'm going to place a few deep cleansing meditations in Overnight Millionaire University so you guys get access. Just reach out to me and ask, but you have to be a member. This is only for my members, okay? This is not for followers. This is for my members only who have taken a leap of faith, invested with me, invested in themselves, and they just want more. Okay? All right, folks, much love. This is Wesley, $1 Billion Virgin. I want everybody to comment this one word before you leave. Something amazing is about to happen. And as you hit the X button, I want you to think something amazing is about to happen. And I want you to come back here and tell me the amazing thing that happened. Much love, and let's go.